New York Country 1039 KGRT. Yeah, I ain't saying from Jordan Davis. I mean, I ain't saying it, but I'm saying it.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., downtown Las Cruces.
That's right. It's time for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. And, Japan is weird. Very, very weird. And I saw this story, and I'm going to warn you, it's weird. But it did get me thinking about, road trips and some of the things that we visit. See, Japan's Atoa Aquarium currently features an educational, mind you, exhibit dedicated to the certain scent of animals, particularly in the rear. Yes, the aquarium displays framed portraits of rears that releases artificially recreated scents based on animals' derrieres, including but not limited to penguins and tigers. If they need some milk cows, we got one down the road. Anyway, visitors press their noses to the frame so they can experience the various fragrances. I said it at the beginning. Japan is weird. It really is. But it got me thinking about all of the different places, exhibits, and weird things that we visit when we're out on the road. Yeah, so my question for you today is, what's the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have seen while vacationing? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a roadside attraction, but Meteor Crater up in northern Arizona, that's actually a really cool place to visit. But when I think of roadside attractions, the first thing that always pops in my mind, because it's right down the road, is The Thing. If I mention The Thing, do you know what I'm talking about? This actually came up a couple of weeks ago when I was talking to our engineer, Martin, because he has stopped by and seen The Thing. In fact, apparently they've remodeled and done a lot of cool stuff over there that I haven't seen since I've been there many, many years ago. But, yeah, has anybody stopped by to see The Thing? Well, probably one of the most unusual roadside attractions out there, period. But what is something that you've seen? If you've been on the road traveling, what is an unusual roadside attraction or maybe a museum that you have visited while you were vacationing? That is our question of the day, so go ahead and let me know your answers. Call them in or text them in at 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. And, of course, we are live on our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube, so you can leave your comments on those pages as well. And let me know your answers for our question of the day. What is the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have visited while vacationing or out on the road? That is our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. Okay, all the appropriate buttons are pushed, and yeah, I love The Thing. I really do, for a couple of reasons. Many, many years ago, there was a song that came out, and it was it was just a song written by some California guys out on a road trip, but it kept mentioning The Thing, and I was going, what is this? And then I was on a road trip. I think I met some friends in Phoenix. We were moving to Houston, and we drove by and said, we got to stop by, and we did, and it was fairly underwhelming at that time. But like I said, they've done a few things since then, and apparently it's really, really cool when you stop by and see The Thing. In fact, I just got a text message that somebody was exactly going to say that The Thing is one of their most unusual roadside attractions and museums that they've seen while vacationing. So, yeah, I think The Thing is actually pretty awesome. And if you have not seen The Thing, you're missing out. But anyway, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things. Like if you're doing, if I were to go ahead and take a road trip around the U.S., yeah, I would be stopping at all of these roadside attractions and tourist traps. There's a whole set of teepees up on I-40 as you head towards into Arizona. I think we made a trip up to Phoenix one time going that way and stopped by and, had some breakfast up there. That was actually kind of cool. In fact, I think it was the same trip that we saw Meteor Crater at as well. And it's just a whole lot of fun to go ahead and see some of these attractions. Now, they're not as prevalent as they used to be when people were taking road trips, much easier to fly than it is to go ahead and grab the road trip. But I do enjoy those road trips. And even if you are flying, you're going to places, there's got to be some weird museums that are out there that you visited. So go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day today. What is the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have seen while vacationing? I'm throwing up the thing up there as my number one. In the meantime, while we're waiting for a few more answers, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in and around the world. Apparently, I didn't even know I wanted this until I saw this, but Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are producing a film about Miss Piggy. Yeah, Lawrence hinted at the possibility of her and Stone appearing in the film, but a movie about Miss Piggy, maybe a little biopic right there. I like I said, I didn't know I wanted it until I saw that story. Tom Bergeron is returning to Dancing with the Stars for the 20th anniversary show. He had been the host for 15 years and nearly 450 episodes before leaving in 2020. He's actually going to be a judge, so that'll be cool. Speaking of some interesting movies out there, Wedding Crashers, remember that one? Well, are you ready for Wedding Crashers 2? It's actually going to be a little bit longer of a wait since it is on hold due to scheduling conflicts with Owen Wilson. But eventually, yeah, it is coming our way. And, you know that get out of jail free card that you get in Monopoly? Well, apparently in Fullerton, California, a driver recently tried to use a Monopoly get out of jail free card to get out of a ticket, and an officer stopped the driver for traffic violation. The officer laughed, told the driver to save the card for a rainy day, and then he issued him the citation. So apparently it didn't work, but, he told him to keep it for a rainy day, so there's a chance. Once again, we are looking for answers for our question of the day. What is the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have seen while on vacation? If you're on a road trip or you're going to some places, there's got to be some really, really interesting stuff out there. Like I said, just down the road, if you're headed towards, say, Tucson, because I know you have to go past Deming, you will see the signs out there, the billboards for The Thing. And you can see these billboards everywhere in the Southwest talking about The Thing. And I think it's awesome. I'm not going to give it away or anything else like to tell you what The Thing is. I'm just going to say, if you've been on the road anytime traveling on a road trip, traveling down the highways, you have seen the billboards, and it does exist. You can stop by, grab a bite to eat, and see The Thing. So it sounds like a weird advertisement for it, but it is actually pretty cool. And I do love my road trips, so that would be pretty awesome. But what is the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have seen while vacation? Doesn't this have to be a road trip? If you went on vacation and you just saw this interesting museum, is it the Museum of Trains? Is it the giant ball of yarn? Is it, I don't know, the toy museum? That would be an awesome place to stop by, I think. Not unusual, but pretty cool. But go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day today. What is the most unusual roadside attraction or museum that you have seen while vacationing? Let me know your answers for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.